in the context of my book, judgment is fierce, and it is. I think it's very much fierce in the world out there, and we impose societal ideas as to what is beautiful, and obviously you roll with that in your profession, but it it's got to be a tremendously challenging subject for. I had a conversation with somebody we were discussing about how fertility figures into looks, this whole drive, because people want to be of a particular age range where it seems like they're still, flowering, kind of, in that sense. And I liken it to, it's fascinating to me how Jennifer Aniston has perpetually on the verge or getting pregnant. And she's like, she's maybe 50 years old now, but she still is on the cover of these magazines with a bump, or the suggestion of it. Right. And I'm sure that it's her publicist driving this whole thing to make her seem like she's 38 years old still, or 34, right. Whatever. But how does that, what's your thoughts?
Listen, I think that the aging of society has changed what people do. So obviously society is much older than it used to be as people live longer. And I think that the 60 is the new 50 and so on and so forth. And people are doing things at older ages now in terms of activities and whatever. They're working longer, which brings us to a whole nother point and something that I see in my practice. It's become very competitive for older people to keep jobs and to get jobs. So therefore, I see patients coming in all the time and saying, I'm only 60 years old and I'm at the prime of my career, but I have to compete with the 40-year-olds and I have to look like that. And that's what they say. And this is men and women. They say, I have to look younger in order to get that job. So with the aging society, we're making people look better well into their 80s, 90s. I see patients all the time who are 70, 80, and 90 and want surgery done.
Well, one of the things that is a kind of a thesis of mine about how we are as a society is that Hollywood is projecting ideas as to who we are and what we should look like out there into the world. So if you're a mother 41 years old in Midwest with 3 children and you're trying to hold down a job, you may be watching a TV show with somebody who's supposed to be you, who's supposed to be the same age, except it's played by a 31-year-old, and she looks great, and it's just like making people insecure.
It absolutely makes people insecure. Listen, the Kardashian phenomenon has changed the way people want their bodies looking. So people are looking at these things like they're real, like these are real people who didn't have anything done. I can't tell you how many times a week somebody's come in to me and says, I like that big butt like the Kardashians have, and that's natural for them, right? But I'm like, no, it's not natural. No one has a butt that big. It's not.
Has anyone asked you for to do these butt enlargements?
So on one of the old Kardashian shows, they x-rayed her butt to prove that she didn't have butt implants. But that's not how we do it. So an x-ray is not going to show it. So we take fat out of one area with liposuction and put it into the butt. And that's how you enlarge someone's butt, which does not show on x-ray. So they, the whole thing was a scam. So they were trying to disprove that they didn't have it done. But in fact, the realistic thing is it wouldn't have showed either way. So TV personalities definitely affect the way we perceive people, just like magazines do. You look at the cover of these people in Vogue and all the other magazines, they're all airbrushed. So, and patients come to me all the time and say, why don't they have wrinkles? She's 50 years old. There are wrinkles because they airbrushed it.
Yeah.
You know, and then I see a lot of these
It's
patients.
kind of another field of plastic surgery. Almost. You know, it's like
Much easier.
Yeah, exactly.
I wish I could airbrush some of these people. The airbrushing comes in handy for me when I operate on the celebrities and they're still black and blue and have to go back on television or, you know, in movies or whatever, and I'm like, what are you going to do? They're like, don't worry about it. It's all airbrushed. So I'm like, good. You can airbrush my imperfections that I left on you.
Good makeup artist.
Yep.